Moment of silence for the champions, for those who make going hard a lifestyle. Never wait for nothing, gotta get it right now. I'm in the spotlight when they turn the lights down. Only a champ swing the hardest in the 12th round. I love the fourth quarter, I love the ninth inning, I love game 7. Bring on the competition, cause in my heart, can nobody do it better. Can't slow me down, won't stop me, never. I'm so passionate, Clay, I'm Tyson in his prime.
I don't know. What's going on, motherfuckers? And welcome back to the Pressure Podcast, everybody. It is Thursday, Throwback Thursday. And we about to get a little,
My bad, our boy's crashing out over here, so I was like...
we about to get a little X-rated over here. No big pause, but we're gonna call it how we see it, okay? So get ready.
Give me a hell yeah!
Like always. When have we not held ourselves accountable?
Tonight we'll be recapping the NBA Finals, and then we're going to be talking a lot of football too. But without further ado, we are live from our studio in Orlando, Florida. It's your boy King Coke.
LeBron.
Finish him!
What's up, peoples?
Rated M for millennials. This is crazy. Because right now is Pride Month, and I woke up to Trump and Elon Musk's little I'll say it, the queer shit. They're over here queer sword fighting on Pride Month. That's how we woke up today. Big pause.
Sword fighting's crazy.
Then I was like, you know what, though? I'm going to vacation tomorrow in Colombia. I don't have to worry about none of this pride shit over there. There's not that many gay people over there. They're all gay people, I'm just saying. It's just a little much here in the United States, especially in this month. So, obviously, we're not political. We're not here to talk Trump or anything like that, but that's just what we woke up to. And I'm thinking, I'm going to Colombia tomorrow. I ain't got to worry about none of this shit. And then I saw some more news. Rodgers is headed to the Pittsburgh Steelers, who I call the Shitsburgh Steelers. We will elaborate on the Knicks who fired Tibbs since the last time we had a podcast, Monday. And the NBA Finals Game 1, baby, which is what matters right now. We are live Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at midnight. So basically, Tuesday early in the morning, Friday early in the morning, and Sunday early in the morning. Come hang out with us. We want to hear your takes. So let's get to the first topic, which is Game 1 of the NBA Finals, where the Indiana Pacers, Naptown, stun OKC at home. Pacers lead 1-0. OKC allowed 30-plus per quarter in the second half, despite the fact that they only had like 4 turnovers to Indiana's 24.
What the fuck?
How is that possible? OKC blows a double-digit lead and chokes at home versus Indy. Now, I did see that Indy won the rebound battle by almost 20. That I did see.
So let me tell you what happened with the turnovers. In the second half, guess how many Indiana had? 5. That's the difference. If OKC cannot turn anybody over, they're not winning shit. Because they're not that great offensively as people think they are. They rely on these role players at home, and those role players did not show up for them. Dort was good. Shea, he did his thing, 38. Williams, 17, that's not enough. And Holmgren 6. That's not enough.
Be cool,
It's not
nigga.
enough.
Homo Green, I knew was not going to show up. I told you I didn't trust that guy. Wallace, I mean, he's too young to be trusted right now. Dort and Williams, they showed up somewhat. Dort did show up more than Williams. Williams had a bad shooting day, but it wasn't that bad. And Caruso. Hartenstein did what Hartenstein did in 99. I think Hartenstein should start over Holmgren personally, but that's just me. Think about this. In 24 minutes, Chet had 6 and 6, 0 assists. In 17 minutes, this man had 9 rebounds and 9 points. Okay? But what do I see here? I see a one-man army. I repeat, one-man army.
Talk that sass, nigga. Talk that sass.
Does that shit not sound familiar? I try to tell y'all. It's not that I don't like the Thunder. It's not that I hate SGA. It's just that I don't trust young teams in the NBA playoffs, especially in the finals. The reason why is because I don't trust the guys around them. Because the thing is, we said it months ago when we were making our tower rankings. The reason I have it this way is because the guys that show up in the playoffs are usually the ones that are there all the time consistently. Role players show up better at home than on the road, but sometimes even on the road they'll show up, and sometimes on the home they're not going to show up. Okay, vice versa. The thing about it is, though, is that I've seen too many one-man armies. I've seen Iverson. I've seen LeBron. I've seen them all. Well, as far as since I've been alive, since 87, okay? Obviously, I didn't start watching basketball in 87. I started watching it around 94, 93. But the thing is, I've never seen a one-man army win. I've never seen it. You know what I'm saying? You could point at the Milwaukee Bucks with Greek Freak, but he actually had consistent weapons that were not, you know what I'm saying, who put a disappearing act come playoff time with Middleton and Drew Holiday. We've seen Dirk Nowitzki do it, but Sean Marion, Stojakovic, Jason Terry, Jason Kidd, these guys are not going to just disappear out of nowhere. And JJ Barea came out of nowhere and just went ham. You know what I'm saying? You can point at a lot of other guys. You can say Kawhi Leonard, but as you see, Siakam and OG Anunoby are playoff performers. And not to mention Kyle Lowry. So when you look at these one-man armies that people claim have won championships, they weren't one-man armies. And if they were well supplied. They were well built. This is not well supplied or well built to me because they're too young. They're way too young. You cannot trust guys in rookie deals come playoff time. I try to tell these guys here, I won money on this game. I said I was going to put $50 on the Pacers just in case they wouldn't. Sure enough, they won. So I got extra money for vacation. Hell to the fuck yeah.
Be cool, nigger.
So one thing that impressed me the most, the thing that impressed me the most about the Pacers is that it doesn't have to be Hallie. That's why I don't think people understand. It's Hallie likes. He's a point guard. He's a pure point guard. He wants to get his teammates involved. He was turning the ball over left and right in the first half because he kept trying to get his teammates involved. He wasn't able to have 10 assists, but he had 14 and 10. He hit the biggest shot, so he was there in the biggest moment. And on top of that, everybody else on that team shows up. Whether it be Obi Toppin, whether it be T.J. McConnell, whether it be Neesmith. I thought Mathurin had some big plays late in the game. Intimidation. There's certain things that you do in a game where you turn the game around just off of that one thing. Like, it gets that team going. And I feel like when he blocked Jalen Williams, which you'll see, I think that got the team going. And then it got them to the point where they was like, okay, we're still in this. And they've done it before. This team look like they're just destined to win at this point. Like, every time they make the biggest plays, they make the biggest shots. They can all, like my man said over here, they can all shoot the ball. They all, to me, are pretty fucking clutch in this playoffs. I like from OKC, you've seen that, but in spurts. With Indiana, it seems like every time you need a big shot, they make it. It's impressive, man. It's impressive. 18 of 39 from three. They shot 15 of 21 from the free throw line, which OKC shot 3 more free throws. They out rebounded, which I didn't expect. The OKC 56 to 39. Bro, they had 25 turnovers. Do you know what it is? If you would have saw that stat, do you really think they would have won that game? This team just seems like it's destined to win, man. They just do.
Well, if you remember back on
They're
Monday,
well coached.
If you remember back Monday we put who had the better team. Okay, we agreed the Thunder this year had the better team, but there's an argument against that too. But who had the most experience? And who has been more consistent? You could say SGA has been the most consistent superstar player in the entire playoffs, and it's true. But who's been the most consistent team? That's been Indiana. And I try to tell you all that. This is, I would not, I even said it. I would bet against that 9-point spread. I said it clearly. Because you could say that, yeah, the home players will show up. That's not a guarantee. This is the NBA Finals. I've seen Michael Jordan have a hard time in his first NBA Finals game. So I'm not saying the SGA was going to, but I'm not worried about SGA. I've been saying that since the moment we made the tower rankings. SGA is not the problem. The problem is who else is coming to the party. We can't trust rookies. And if you think Dort and Caruso and Hartenstein are going to help elevate the rookies that are supposed to be doing their job, good luck.
Yeah, people act like Caruso did so much in that finals in the bubble.
He didn't. That was just
He did a couple
Lakers
things
fans
here
glazing.
and there, you know what I'm saying? They try to make it seem like he did something. They try to act like this guy's like the best defender, but every time he comes out there, he has 5 fouls in like 20 minutes. He doesn't even play that long, and he has. How do you have 5 fouls when you don't? You're not even one of the starters.
Now, I got to put this into context. I just got off work, so I haven't even seen the highlights. I just kept, my eye on the game. The thing about it is, though, even though not me seeing the highlights, I already see that this is very, very, very nerve-wracking for OKC fans because SGA played his ass out. And where was he in the fourth quarter at the end? When it comes to clutch time, how many points did he have? 2 free throws. He's good at free throws, I'll give you that. But where's your shot? I try to tell you, bro. When it comes to the clutch, that mid range that he lives on throughout the entire of the game.
Yeah, but you can't put the blame on him.
No, I'm not saying that the blame is on him. What I'm saying
You're
is
expecting him to hit the shot. I get it, but at the same
what
time,
I'm saying is that the man is not as clutch as everybody thinks he is. I'm just noticing it that whenever it's time for him to clutch up, his jump shots ain't falling. Kind of like Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant, for some reason, his jump shot isn't falling when he's up 3-1. And everybody wants to blame Westbrook. No. Look at that 3-1 game again, and you will see, and the 3-2 game, and then the 3-3 game, and you will see Kevin Durant had plenty of opportunities to seal the deal, and he could not. The shots that were falling for him against Cleveland the next year when he's Golden State, and the year after that, weren't falling when he doesn't have Klay Thompson and Draymond and Steph Curry around. When his usage rate is low, it's easy. But when his usage rate is high, he doesn't clutch up. That's why I don't think Kevin Durant is clutch. You can't tell me he's clutch because of what happened against Cleveland, because that's easy to do it in those teams. But has he been clutch before he got to Golden State? Not so much. And what about after? The only clutch shot I can remember is the one that he stepped on the line at. He pulled the Halliburton. He stepped on the line and fucked it up, went to overtime, and ended up losing anyway. He's not clutch, and neither is SGA. I'm trying to tell you guys, I'm not trying to hate. I just call it how I see it. Call it how it is. The man's jump shot, the mid-range, it ain't. Sometimes it's wide open, sometimes it's not. But when he makes them throughout the season, in his MVP season, it didn't matter if he was open or not. He got to his spot and he was going to make them. But for some reason or another, come clutch time against the Nuggets, against these guys now, where you at, bro? Where you at? And that can't happen if you're going to be the superstar, if you're going to be the guy that's going to lead this team to success. You're the MVP. You're the Western Conference. You're the Magic Johnson Award winner. You've got to fucking show up, man. You cannot let this happen. You cannot let the Pacers steal one from you. Look, you saw what happened with New York, Game 1. Look where we're at now. We just fired our coach. And we will be talking about that very soon. So, if you were a Thunder fan, is there reason to panic right now? Of course not. But if you're a Thunder fan, are you worried?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Just because, again, the Pacers had 25 turnovers. I'm not expecting them to have 25 turnovers the next game. And I expect them to play with a whole bunch of fucking confidence, knowing that you got one, knowing the possibilities of you able to get the second one as well.
What's up, Cole? Welcome back, brother.
Give me a hell yeah!
Cole, I try to tell him, man, I don't trust guys, teams that have a bunch of rookies, you know what I'm saying, or guys in rookie deals in the NBA Finals. Young teams usually never win. I mean, I've never seen a young team win like this. You know what I'm saying? Someone brought up the Golden State Warriors with Jordan Poole and all those guys. But that was a good mix of healthy veterans and what's it called, rookies and guys in rookie deals. That's not what OKC is. There's no healthy veteran. There's no nucleus as won before. There's no pedigree there. So it would make sense that the one team that won with a bunch of rookie deals on the contract in the cap, hitting the cap, the salary cap. The only way you would be able to do that is if you had an all-time great nucleus around those dudes in rookie deals. Bro, I called it on Monday. Monday, I said, yo, Vegas has Thunder 9-point favorites. That is a disrespect, and that is something I will bet against if I were people. All right? First of all, this team is too young. I don't care if they're at home. They're not blowing out Indiana because I told him the Thunder have yet to face an offense like Indiana this entire playoffs. The Grizzlies are not it. The Nuggets are not it, and neither are the T-Wolves. They can't score like the Pacers can. Okay? Now, I'm not saying that the Pacers are the best team the Thunder have faced. I'm just saying that they haven't faced an offense like this. So don't give me no 9-point favorites. I said it. I would bet against it. I didn't bet against it. What I did, I just bet for the Pacers to flat out win.
Well, really,
and I did.
well, really, the silver lining for OKC is that you did have a big lead. So it's a possibility you can blow a team out, but you have to execute when it most matters, and that's what I'm worried about is OKC executing when it most matters. Jalen, like I said, Jalen Williams, whoever said he had a good game, whatever, you guys could say that. 6 of 19 to me is not a good game. 6 of 19 to me is a terrible game. Not only that, I think their defense let up a lot in the second half, and I think it also had to do, again, with the turnovers. They did not turn the ball over in the second half, and some of these guys showed up in the fourth quarter that you expected. Nembhard, Obi Toppin made some big shots. Miles Turner hit some big shots. All these guys that we could count on, pretty much, they showed up. Even Neesmith. So that's the difference between the Pacers and OKC. That OKC, they show it, but it's far in between. As with the Pacers, they keep coming at you, and then if they get their offense going, watch out. That's what I see.
Well, like Cope said, it was plus 10 for the Indiana Pacers. They were 10-point underdogs by the time the game started, which is mad disrespectful. I agree. And he said, what was OKC's bigger lead tonight? 15-16? That's not a crazy lead, though. And I agree, Cole, because just because you had a 15 lead in the game once doesn't mean that you could do it.
No. But I'm saying what they said during the spread, because the spread was 9, right? 9 points
To finish with 9.
That's what I'm saying. So they were up 16.
Yeah, but
that's more than.
Yeah, but it's one thing to be up 16 in a game. It's one thing to finish up 16 in a game.
I know, but I'm just saying they was up. I'm looking at the silver lining of the game.
Yeah, but the silver lining is not that. The silver lining is
that they did have the big lead.
That's not a big lead. 15 and 16 is not a big lead in the NBA. 21 below is a big lead.
Forget it, bro. I'm not even saying that.
21 below is universal. It's 21 below in basketball. It's 21 and below in football. Maybe not in baseball, obviously. Maybe not in soccer and hockey. But in football and basketball.
You guys aren't understanding what I'm saying. It's cool. I'm not even saying that.
Well, this is why we have a debate podcast to do these things. So stop doing that.
But I'm explaining it to you guys, and you guys won't let me. Like, I'm telling you, it's because of the spread. The spread is 9, so they was up 16. That would have beat the spread of what they were saying. They said they had them plus 9. Yes or no?
Correct.
So that's what I'm saying. That's what I mean.
Yeah,
I'm not talking about it was a big lead. I'm talking about that was the lead that would have got them the over 9. That's all I'm saying.
Yes, but what I was trying to tell you is when have the Pacers been blown out by 9 points or more?
You guys did it.
One time.
Okay.
And we were never favored by 9. We should never be favored by 9. Neither should Thunder. That's my point. They should never be favored by 9 against the Pacers. The Pacers don't get blown out like that.
Well, I'm not saying that they should have been favored by 9. But I'm just saying that they had That was a big enough lead to win that game.
Was the lead like that for most of the game?
Yeah,
No, it wasn't.
pretty much.
I was watching
It was,
the game. It was between 10 and under most of the game.
No, like 12, like 15.
Broski,
12,
I'm looking at the
15.
score right here, and I looked at the score throughout the game. That's impossible. At no point did what's it called, OKC, have 10 plus in a quarter against the Pacers ever. They had 9 plus in the first quarter. They had plus 3 in the second quarter, so that's 12. They were minus 3 in the third quarter and minus 10 in the fourth quarter. So it's impossible that it was throughout the entire game. It was only a little bit of the game, broski.
12.
Thank you. It floated most of the game, 9-11. I agree with that. Because that's what I
12.
saw. I didn't see no 16-point lead most of the game.
No, I'm not.
You know what I'm saying? I asked you. I just literally asked you right now. Was it like that most of the game?
Said
You said
12.
yes. No, I
12.
asked you. Was it 15 or 16 most of the game? You said yes.
Bro, I said 12.
Well, we could rewind it. I asked you just now.
said-
Cope, did I not?
I said 12.
I said, did they lead by 15 or 16 most of the game? You said
And
yes.
I said 12.
You said yes. You didn't say 12. You said yes.
Bro, I said 12.
All right. We could rewatch it, but you'll see.
Absolutely, we can.
Because Kobe, you're my witness. He said yes, and I'm like, that's
Absolutely,
impossible
yeah.
because I went over there and I was looking. I didn't see that from the game. Maybe in the first half, but not in the second half. So maybe you could say the first half they were leading a lot, but in the second half they just weren't. The game was in reach for most of the game that I saw, and I didn't even get to see the game. Yeah, you did say yes to 15. I asked you specifically because I didn't get to watch the game. Okay, so we're still on the same page here. But all I'm saying is, it is disrespectful to have the Thunder up 9 points favorite in the NBA Finals against Indiana. That's completely disrespectful, and I'm glad that fucking happened because now hopefully they won't do it again. Because if they do it again, I'm betting the house on it. You ain't blowing out Indiana. You don't got the defense to do it. You don't have the weapons around you to do it. You only have one superstar, and that's it right now. You're lucky to win a game, in my view, now. The Pacers got you where they want you. They did their job. They won game 1. Do not let them win game 2 because you're not coming back. So let's get to the next topic, shall we? My New York Knicks fire head coach Tom Thibodeau. Same old Knicks are back. Motherfuckers.
Talk that sass, nigga. Talk that sass.
So it was Monday. My prediction
I
was
said
Pacers
6.
in 6.
I said OKC in 6.
I said Pacers in 6. And I completely said I'm betting against that 9-point spread. I didn't bet the 9-point spread. I just bet the flat out win just because it was plus 300 or something like that. So on a $50 bet, I ended up winning 200, 150 back. So that's what I ended up doing. But last year I called Celtics winning in 5 against the Mavericks, and I was the only one that said it. I just wish I had the podcast back then. Back then we didn't have the camera and the computer, but now we do. So now we have a recording of all the receipts, especially on YouTube. But it's completely disrespectful. What also is disrespectful is my Knicks firing the only coach that brought us back to relevancy. Oh, good shit, man.
Finish him.
So you plus 470 for the day. Good shit. I'm going to Colombia, so the extra 200, I'll take it. I'm going to Colombia in a few hours. So, what's New York thinking? Because I don't know. Some people are saying, oh, they fired him so that they could get the coach that they want so they could get Greek Freak. That's not happening. Another people say it's because Coach Tibbs don't play much of his bench. But we already alluded to the fact that there's not much of a bench to play. Oh, yes, there is. When you put Sham and Wright and McBride and all those guys, they were playing way better defense. Yeah, against the Pacers. Where were they at all season long? Where were they at when Brunson was hurt and rolled his ankle? Where were they at? Where were they at when Karl Anthony Towns was out because of personal reasons? Where were they at? Where were they at all throughout the season, brother? They were nowhere. We don't have a bench. I always said it. The Knicks have the best starting top 5 in the league other than the Celtics, but we have nothing else after that, really.
Nah, they better than the Celtics. They proved that.
So, before Tom Thibodeau, 20 years had passed and we only had one playoff series, and we've only won 5 playoff games, or 6 playoff games. Since we got Tom Thibodeau, we've won over 20-something playoff games, and we've advanced to the semifinals at least the last 3 years and the Eastern Conference Finals this year. And then who should they replace Tibbs with? Some people say Ime Udoka, some people say Jason Kidd, and some people say Mike Malone that just got fired from the Nuggets. We have money to spend on, like, you know what I'm saying, bench players and role players, but we ain't got, like, money for a star, but we don't need it. The only guy on the max contract is Karl Anthony Towns. Everybody else is just, you know, they're getting paid but not max contracts, so we always have salary cap thanks to that. And I appreciate Julius Randle for that because he's the reason why we have salary space. He took a bargain. He gave us a bargain so that we could build around and you have better players, and then we ended up shipping him out, which is, to me, disrespectful. But it's over now. It's done.
So I seen something interesting on, I think it was on Instagram. I think everybody damn near said this. They was like, how the hell does Tom Thibodeau get fired, but Doc Rivers has a job?
Yep.
That was my thing. Like, if you're gonna,
What the fuck?
if you was gonna fire Tibbs, I feel like you had to have a plan. Like, you can't just, you know, blindside fire the guy and then you don't know what the hell you're gonna do. You don't have a plan. And they haven't even have a press conference for the dude, which was crazy. Like, that's actually kind of insane to me that nobody's got up there and said how great of a coach he was for us, but we're trying to go in a different direction. Something. Jesus, you don't think he deserves that respect? I mean, the dude fucking, if it wasn't for him, you guys, shit, you wouldn't be nowhere near where you were. Not to mention you overachieved this year, that I believe, because didn't everybody pick the Celtics to beat the Knicks? I picked the Celtics to beat the Knicks.
Now, what are the negatives? One, I get it. He doesn't use much of his bench, but like I said, we didn't have much of a bench. Number 2, he was 0-10 versus OKC, Cleveland, and Boston this year. Number 3,
season.
What's it called? There's no number 3. Those are the only 2 negative things you could say about Tibbs, literally. Okay, there is no number 3. There is no number 3. He didn't mismanage the clock in game 1 against the Pacers. The players did.
He was probably coaching Cat too strongly. That he went up to the gym and was like,
nobody, none of the players wanted Tibbs out. Nobody even expected it.
I'm just talking shit.
Nobody expected it. Nobody knew that was happening.
I'm just talking.
Jalen Brunson, all of them, nobody. It looks like James Dolan, the owner, got in there and started meddling with shit that he shouldn't meddle with, and the old Knicks are back. Thanks a lot, James Dolan. Thanks a lot. You're talking about an owner who kicked out, infamously, one of the most beloved Knicks of all time in Charles Oakley for no reason, just because he was there. And now he's banned from there. You're talking about an owner who kicked out a 12-year-old kid because he told him, hey, sell the team. Now the 12-year-old kid is banned. And this is 10 years ago. He's 22 now, by now. You're talking about an owner that since the moment he's bought the New York Knicks, we have been a laughing stock in the league. And for the last few years, the GM told him, listen, if I'm going to work here, you got to stay out of my business, okay? You just collect the money and stay the fuck back. Ever since that's happened, look what happened with the Knicks. We've been going good again. And now, no, the owner said,
A no good loser like you bum!
We don't want a champion.
Screw you! You're fired!
So I, as a Knicks fan, I am not happy about this. Most Knicks fans are not. Nobody that I've seen on any of the sports channels or whatever have ever said, I would have done it. All I heard say is I understand why they could have done it, but personally, I wouldn't have done it because nobody in their right mind would have done that. Congratulations, New York. We're back to the Bargnani days. I don't even think we're making the playoffs next year.
Stop it.
We're not.
Stop it.
We're not. We're not making the playoffs. We're making the play-in.
Stop it.
We're making the play-in. That's what we're doing.
Cool, nigga.
There's gonna be some
still got no
crazy
players.
honky ass coach that don't know what he's doing.
Goddamn white boy.
He's gonna fuck up everything.
Goddamn white
No way
boy.
to fuck
Carl
that
Anthony
up.
Towns is not gonna be a slasher no more. He's gonna be shooting 33s a game,
Goddamn white boy.
and Jalen Brunson's not gonna be as efficient. He's gonna be a lot more lackadaisical, and we're gonna turn the ball over a lot more because we're not gonna be as disciplined.
Goddamn white boy.
Not to mention, there goes the defense. We're not gonna have defense again for another 10, 20 years, guys.
Goddamn white
That I'll
boy.
give you.
So fuck the Knicks right now. Fuck the Knicks. I only like the players. I never liked the organization. I only like the players and the arena because we play in the world's most famous arena. That's the only reason I'm a Knicks fan, because of the players, because of Ewing, Oakley, and them, and Pat Riley was the coach. After that, I can care less about the Knicks organization. For real. I have no loyalty to them. So I never bought a jersey for the Knicks. So I only like the players. That's it. The players and the coach. That's it. Wouldn't I like a coach? You know what I'm saying? That's about it. But I would say if we could get Mike Malone and get it, but I don't see a better coach out there. I don't. I really don't. And just name a team that's fired their coach when they were on their up and come up, and then ended up being better. I could name maybe two: Steve Kerr with Mark Jansen, and the only other one was Phil Jackson when they fired Doug Collins in the Chicago Bulls.
But you see what I'm talking about? Like, they already had that plan. He was already integrated.
No, he wasn't. Steve Kerr was
No,
not.
not Steve Kerr, but Phil Jackson.
Yeah.
They had a plan already. They already knew who they wanted as their coach. You guys still haven't picked a coach. You know what I'm saying? That's what I mean. Like, there's no plan. It seems like there's no plan.
But you don't know. I mean, I know what you're saying, but I have no idea how long it took them to hire Phil Jackson after they fired Doug Collins. To say that, I have no idea. If you do, I don't know. But I don't know.
No, that's true. That's true.
But one thing I know for sure is that there's two common denominators that the Bulls and the Warriors had that we don't. They were a young up and coming team. This is not a young up and coming team. This is a team in their prime years already.
Pretty much.
We're not making the playoffs, bro. We're making the play-in.
Be cool, nigga.
Mark my words right here. You guys make.
Oh, before I do this, I had to show you y'all something. The Orlando Tragic. What the fuck is this? Cole, what the fuck is this?
That's all.
We live here in Orlando, Florida, okay?
That's
Where's
all.
that shit at?
Why not just bring it back? Why not just bring the fucking pinstripes back?
This is Orlando, Florida, everybody. This is, you know what I'm saying?
That's the jersey I want.
This is Orlando Magic right here. We live in Orlando.
That's the jersey.
I don't know what this is. This is third world country shit.
Finish him.
This is shit you find in Haiti. This is shit you find in Dominican Republic.
This is like an imitation.
Fatality.
Just get offline.
This is shit you find in China. This is shit that poor people wear because they can't afford a real jersey.
Finish him.
Oh, it's not wrong. That's exactly what it looks like. And you're gonna have the Disney logo on there? Please stop.
What the fuck?
The fuck, Orlando? That we never needed a logo switch anyway. Why the fuck you do that for? The fuck you do that for? We look gay as hell now. We look like African kids running up barefoot with no water, no clean water to drink, maybe some vegetables, some rats, some raccoons and squirrels. You ain't gonna have chicken. They can't afford chicken.
That's that shit that they over there giving out to the people. Like, hey, here, you need clothes to wear?
Yeah.
Here you go.
Nigga, I played for the Orlando Magic in YMCA basketball, youth basketball, and our Orlando Magic jersey was better than that shit.
Fatality.
Fuck is this? Fuck is this, man? This is ugly. Just absolute ugly. It's a very bad week for me in sports, let me tell you.
That's ugly, girl.
All right. So let's get to the next headline, okay? So breaking news today, the Steelers are signing Aaron Rodgers, all right? Schittsburg gets their quarterback. So Rodgers in a new neighborhood. Good move, bad move, and for who? I think it's a good move for the Steelers.
I mean, you don't have a quarterback.
I think it's a good move for the Aaron Rodgers. But I also think it's a bad move for the Steelers. And I also think it's a bad move for Aaron Rodgers. The reason why it's a good move for the Steelers is because they actually have a competent quarterback again. So they can at least compete. So that Mike Tomlin's streak of plus 500, you know what I'm saying, consecutively can't continue. Because without it, I had there's no way I saw that happening. And it's a good move for Aaron Rodgers because he gets to play again. He gets to continue his career and do what he does best. But why is it a bad move for the Steelers? Because you're not going to get any closer to the quarterback you need. And why is it a bad move for the Aaron Rodgers? Because you play the Baltimore Ravens and Lamar Jackson 2 times. That's why.
Yeah, it's a juggernaut, bitch.
We get 2 turns to kick your ass, not 1, 2. The last time the Baltimore Ravens saw you, you were in a Green Bay Packer uniform in your heyday, in your MVP year, and we waxed that ass.
And to me,
in your own house.
To me, it's a bad move because it's just the name now. He's not the same player. I didn't see it last year. I mean, he did do some stuff good, but
no. But he's no. I told you this. I've already told you this. I've seen Michael Vick look old as hell.
You saying because he's coming to Pittsburgh?
It's the New York Trash. The New York Trash is not a good measuring stick. When you play for the New York Trash, you can't tell how that athlete actually performs with that uniform on. You have to wait till he leaves to another team.
Yeah, I'll check him out. I'll wait.
Okay.
I'll withhold.
I'm not saying he's old. He's not old in Washington. I'm just saying you can't tell because of where he just came from. You got to wait.
That's not the measuring stick. I got you.
Which sucks because for people who say, "Oh, maybe I want to draft him in fantasy, but I don't know." Thanks a lot, New York. Thanks a lot because you're no litmus test. I can't look at your highlights and say, "Hey, you know what? He could be better with Pittsburgh." We don't know. That's how bad that organization is that we can't tell until we see them in another uniform. Sam Darnold.
Like Adams. I think Adams is going to have a good year.
People say, "Oh, Michael Vick was washed up, though." Well, when he went to Pittsburgh the next year, he went 7-2. He could have won 1 game with us.
You think Devontae Adams will have a good year with the Rams?
Oh, yeah. But I'm not saying he's going to have, like, Devontae Adams type year. I don't think he's going to even have 90 catches.
I don't think he's that guy.
I think he might have 70 catches with 800 yards and maybe 9 touchdowns max.
I think
max. He's a big target in the end zone. Big pause.
He's still got
big
that
pause. But I think this is much to do with nothing. I don't care. Pittsburgh, we own you now. We have the better quarterback by a mile. It's not even close. And we got the better team. And we already went over that. We've beaten you 3 times in a row now. So it's all good. 3 consecutive times now. So take care, Pittsburgh. We'll see you soon. I cannot wait to see y'all. I cannot wait. Now, I have another thing for you. I saw this post over here. This is American GOATs right here. This is the best baseball player, the GOAT of boxing, the GOAT of basketball, the GOAT of soccer, the GOAT of hockey, the GOAT of tennis, the GOAT of football, and the GOAT of golf. Right here. They're all American except for Gretzky and Messi. Gretzky's Canadian and Messi is Argentinian. But these are GOATs right here of sports. Tiger Woods, Tom Brady, Michael Jordan, Muhammad Ali, Babe Ruth, and Serena Williams.
Yeah, they don't. But no.
I cannot argue with this right here. This picture right here says it all right there. The only thing missing, is something that won't fit in the screen. You know what that is? Gold. Tom Brady could fit his rings there. Michael Jordan could fit his rings there. Gretzky and Messi could fit their rings there. But Tiger Woods can't fit his Masters because they don't give him a ring. They give him a bunch of jackets, and I don't see any coat hangers there. Serena Williams gets a bunch of plates and shit like that. I don't see no table to put him on. You know what I'm saying? Muhammad Ali gets a bunch of title belts, and I don't see a place to hang him in there. So, I mean, if you were to put all the championships combined in that picture...
Oh, my goodness. It won't fit.
You have enough to get to Pluto. And Pluto's a long
you would have to, like, minimize every little dot up there is a...
The fastest we can do, the fastest we can go to Pluto right now is 10 years. So that's how many championships these guys have, that it takes 10 years to get to Pluto too. Because that's a lot of rings. That's a lot of gold. That's a lot of trophies. That's a lot of greatness right there. Those are the greatest. There's no better hockey player than Gretzky. There's no soccer player better than Messi. There's no football player better than Tom Brady. There's no basketball player better than Jordan. There's no boxer better than Muhammad Ali. And, I mean, Babe Ruth played so long ago. He's the oldest guy in that list. Next is Muhammad Ali. That's how, you know what I'm saying? He's over. I mean, Babe Ruth literally played 100 years ago.
Babe Ruth's on that list.
100 years ago is when Babe Ruth was playing. But he was the first ever sports superstar ever.
King of Crash, baby.
And ever. He's the first world famous athlete of all time. He's the first one. That's Babe Ruth. And yes, he has 7 rings. Not to mention he has 700 home runs when the next person had 200. I mean, that's just
What the fuck? And he put a curse on Boston.
no steroids. There was no steroids back then. He was just the great Bambino.
And he put a curse on Boston.
The Sultan of Swat.
Love it. Fucking love
The
it.
Colossus of Cloud.
Colossus of Cloud?
Oh my God! You mean that's the same guy? Yes, motherfucker. You put that fucking baseball to the fence to a big dog. Ah, the Sandlot. You killing me, Smalls.
Finish him.
But Babe Ruth belongs there. He is the best baseball player all around because not only that, he was a great pitcher too. It's been 100 years ago, so people don't accept it no more because they say he played against plumbers and all that shit.
Bambino.
Cole, are you one of those? Do you ever get into the argument where people say, "Man, stop mentioning Wilt Chamberlain or Bill Russell. They played against plumbers." Don't mention Babe Ruth to me. He played against plumbers. Yes, they played against plumbers. That part is true. But you know what else is true? That one day somebody's gonna tell one of y'all, listen, the only reason LeBron got to play so much is because he played in a soft ass league. So don't bring LeBron up to me. And you know what I'm gonna be there to say? I saw a lot of other motherfuckers play in the exact same soft league that LeBron did, and they couldn't do what LeBron did. I saw a lot of people play against the exact same plumbers that you accuse Wilt Chamberlain and Bill Russell and Babe Ruth.
And they couldn't hang.
And they didn't do what they did. So I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Okay?
Greatness is greatness.
Greatness is greatness. It shows it. It just reveals itself. Okay? So don't ever lead that to believe that just because they played against plumbers, they wouldn't cut it in today's league. That's not what it's about. What it's about is what was he doing against the players around him at the time he was there. That's all he can control.
He was dominating.
And he was dominating. Okay?
Is what it is.
My money is, if you were to put Babe Ruth in today's league, he will still be Babe Ruth. My money is, if you put Muhammad Ali in today's boxing, he will still be Muhammad Ali. My money is, if you put Wilt Chamberlain in his heyday in today's league, he will still score 100 fucking points, okay? That's just what it is.
Give me a hell yeah.
He will get remembered.
But legends never die. And my money is, you could put Serena Williams in tennis in any decade, any era, any time, anywhere, as long as it's women's. And she's going to come out triumphant because she's Serena Williams.
So she could play the Aliens, Space Jam.
So I like this one. This is a good shit right here.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. I can't front. That's tough.
That is. But all right, Cole, we're going to sign out here. I appreciate you tuning in. We'll be back on Monday. Normally we do Saturday, but I will be in Colombia on vacation. I'm going to take a little hiatus, just a break, recharge my batteries, hang out with my girlfriend for a little bit. I have a few girlfriends. Not real relationships, just girlfriends that I have. I like to keep my options out there because American women's. And then we will be then Monday to recap the NBA finals. It'll be Game 3 because Game 2 is on Saturday. Game 3 will be on Monday. And we will see you then. This is the Pressure Podcast to perform, react, and dual using strategies in sports under rigorous environments, motherfucker.
Give me a hell yeah.
Only podcast reviewer has say, Cole, once again, if you guys have a webcam, we can send you a link so we can put you on a little screen back there. Hop on the mic and talk your shit.
Finish him.